When we read and we listen to the Sermon on the Mount, I think we always ask ourselves this question. Was Jesus being overly idealistic and optimistic, or perhaps excessively challenging when he invited us to do the amazing things that he is requiring from us today? Was he overly optimistic about our capacity? He says, love your enemy, lend money to those who can't pay you back. The question is, are these expectations reasonable? Can someone really attain that, goal or level? And today I want to make the case that what Jesus is asking is really reasonable. And I think this becomes more evident when we consider what happens when we don't follow the Sermon on the Mount. What happens when you act badly when other people act badly to you? And I want you to think about the Middle East. And I want you to think about, the war between Israel and Palestine. Isn't that the greatest reflection of people, just wanting to give back when someone gives you back something wrong? Isn't it, when you don't follow the Sermon on the Mount, the immediate result, destruction between each other? Because if your idea is, I'll pay you back with the same coin that you gave me, that only ends up in destruction. So really, when you think about this, then the Sermon on the Mount becomes much more reasonable. Because you see that if you don't follow the Sermon on the Mount, what happens is an endless chain of revenge. I pay you back in the same way that you paid me back. Let me give you a different example that I think illustrates the same concept. Think about two spouses. And think about spouses that want to pay each other with the same coin that they received. So you did something wrong to me, and I take revenge from you, and I pay you with the same coin. Don't spouses go in that vicious circle of self-destruction? So, yes, brothers, although on the surface, the Sermon on the Mount and today's invitation seems overly idealistic, I want you to see that when we don't follow it, and when we don't live with mercy for others, the outcome will be always the destruction of each other. So let me finish this homily with this question. Is there someone in my life that I am paying with the same coin that they are giving me? Is there someone in my life who perhaps doesn't treat me really well, so I pay them back with the same coin? Is there someone who's not very kind with me and I decide to not be very kind with them too? I think today is the day that we make the decision to pay with goodness, even when we're not paid with goodness, because that's the only way that we can break the cycle of revenge that always ends up in the destruction of each other.